Well, it's not just SM Krishna. I think the Indian government has been negligent, certainly in assessing the situation obtaining on the Yarlung Zangpo Brahmaputra. It has never woken up to the fact that it's in China's interest, and they've said so, to divert the waters northwards to service the arid regions. The point, I think, is that the alarm bell should have begun ringing in January 2008 when Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, on his state visit to Beijing, asked for a joint mechanism to gauge the flow of water. As simple as that. Before you have any agreement, before you start any kind of negotiations, you should know how much water is flowing through the river. And that was denied by the Chinese government. They said no, they would not allow any such joint mechanism. That should have been really, the first alarm bell in a substantive sense that should have alerted the government of India. It did not. Now, here is a government that accepts the Chinese professions or protestations at face value.
And doesn't look at what its own officials are telling them. Doesn't look at what Raw is telling them. That report is ignored. The people of India are lied to.
And incidentally, it's not just Raw. Our own DIPAC, which the Defense Imagery, Satellite Imagery Processing Agency, actually has. You can get the lateral readings to get the height of the dam and so on. It doesn't take a genius really to know, first of all, the height of the dam and therefore the catchment area, potential catchment area that they are planning on. So, I mean, why is it so difficult for the government of India? Because they fear confrontation with anybody. It's not just China. It's a government, it's a country that seems to be frightened to death of doing anything that remotely can create friction, even if it hurts the country's national interest centrally.
Give me a moment. I want to quote what this report says. The situation report received from Station Beijing states, despite assurances to India, work on the Zangmu Dam on the Yarlung Zangbo River, which is what the Brahmaputra is called in China, is continuing at a rapid pace. There seems to be no change in China's plan to reduce the proposed height, which is what India has been asking for, which has been fixed at 3,370. Kiran Rijiju, the Finance Minister of Arunachal Pradesh, raised concerns about a Kargil-like intrusion happening in Arunachal Pradesh. Tarun Gogoi raised concerns about the height of this dam and the work that was happening. He came to India, met Krishna. Krishna told him the same bunch of facts, which now turn out to be blatant lies, which he's been telling the people of India. What do you, as the person closest to the problem, what do you make of this?
See, after getting to see this report, what you are having access to, the matter is very serious now. You have to understand the whole issue. The Chinese plan, what they are planning and what is the information we have got. The Western Diversion Plan, that's a grand plan, which started in Mao Zedong's time to divert the excess river water from Yarlung Zangpo, which is Brahmaputra, and Yangtze River towards north side. The plan which they had since 1950s and what the information we are getting now, it's matching. That is why we have to understand the whole issue together. We cannot just look at the things in a very, very piecemeal manner. I have been saying this in the parliament also and in other occasion also, that once we know the intention of the Chinese government, we must know what our role should be. Now what I feel is Government of India, particularly Ministry of External Affairs, is in a very complacent mode, where the situation is very urgent.
Acharya, you're saying the situation is urgent. This is exactly what the note says. It says there is an urgent need to take up the issue as Beijing has so far not responded to India's concern. Work is going on rapidly. Why is the Ministry of External Affairs acting like an ostrich with its head buried in the sand, madam?